this morning. We're going to talk a little spring. I was hired maybe a day or two before media days a year ago, and already had a family vacation, and he's got his priorities right. He took that family vacation, and I applaud you for that, Coach. Keep that marriage going, all right? Keep that family going. But Coach Burt had a wonderful season last year at Springwood, playing 8-man football, finished 7-4. He's been a long-time coach at Locust Ford, at Danville. He was a principal at Sheffield, right, Coach? That's right. So we've got 3 young men representing Springwood today: Eli Johnson, Gregory Johnson, and Dylan Reeves. Eli's number 3, Gregory is number 13, and Dylan is number 1. And with no further ado, I bring up the Springwood Wildcat coach, Joey Birch. Coach?
Thanks, sir. Yes, sir. First of all, like he said, I want to thank the Orthopedic Clinic. I talk loud anyway. How about that? I'm good. All right. I want to thank the Orthopedic Clinic. I want to thank the media for putting this on, not only for our school, but for all the surrounding areas. Like another coach in front of us said, you know, this is kind of the get ready. This is kind of a big event for us and all other schools to know that summer workouts are coming to an end, and that next week, we get rolling here in the state of Alabama with football practice, and it's an exciting time for our school and for our athletes. And we just appreciate you all for putting on this event and give us a chance to get some exposure and getting our fans to get excited about the upcoming season. Where we're at Springwood right now, like he said, I'm a long-time North Alabama person. If you told me a couple of years ago that I'd be living in Auburn and loving it, I would have said you're crazy. I'm an Alabama graduate, got 2 daughters, beautiful wife. I raised my daughters correctly, but oldest one married an Auburn grad and moved down here and had grandbabies. So that got us down here when we retired from North Alabama. And we just love it. I was retired for 21 days and said, I got to do something. Okay, I'm not used to sitting around, and I'm not very good at golf, and it's too hot to fish. And so I wanted to do what I love to do. And so I got it back involved at Springwood School, and I wanted to kind of lay back and just kind of be in the backdrop and just help people and have my years of experience, kind of to mentor and be a positive part of that school, but I didn't want to really be in charge of anything. And a year later, I was the director of academics, the director of athletics, the head football coach. I had all those titles and all those responsibilities. So that was a little too much. We had a great year last year. This year I'm stepping back. Like I said, I'm the athletic director and the football coach, and I really enjoy that role. I feel like God has blessed me. And just like any path that I've been on, he's kind of put me in the right place at the right time. And I really, really feel that way with Springwood. Springwood has a history in the 80s and 90s of being a real good football program in the AISA. And then we went in a downfall for several years and just struggled for many reasons and many coaching turnovers. I think, like I said last year, within 3 years, I was the 5th coach hired. And I was hired this time of year. And anytime you get a coach hired this time of year, it's not good, okay? So, but I took those reins on. Last year, we had a good set of team leaders, a good senior group. We only had 21 football players. That is a big struggle for Springwood. Our student enrollment is not that big. I think we counted up, we got around 60 male students, in our high school. And if half of them played, that's 30 kids. And we only got 21 of those students out last year. Did some good things, had good, strong leadership. We went 7-4. We learned a lot about playing 8-man football. And I know some of you have some questions about that. I didn't know anything about it, okay? And when they told us we were gonna play it, I said, man, I have no clue. So I started researching and talking to some people in Missouri and some other places across the United States. It was real big. And man, it was a blast for us. It was really a positive thing. If you don't know anything about it, it's real football. I'm sure some of you were at the state championship game, and it was physical, it's fast, it's wide open. Our fans love it, our kids love it. And it's been really, really good for us to build back our program. And I've just been, like I said, blessed to be a part of that process. So that's where we're at right now. Our goals this year is to win the state championship in 8-man football and expand on out from there. And I think we have a great group. Like I said, last year we had 21 players, we had 11 seniors. So we really had to work hard, the coaching staff and the players did, to get some players out that were in school playing. And then we had some students come to us from other schools, and had a couple up here. I've got a couple of my senior leaders that are on vacation and can't be here with us. So we have Eli here. Eli was a returner from last year. He played every snap of the ball. You know, we have very few players that happens, and did a great job for us. Dylan Reeves, number 1 here, he was a longtime Springwood student. Last year, he went to Troop High School, and he decided he wanted to come back his senior year and be a part of Springwood. So we're great to have Dylan back. He played for us, I know, as a sophomore and as a 9th grader as well, so he's a great addition. And we have Gregory Johnson with us. Gregory's from Opelika, and he joined us this, well, really, you know, he started hanging around, and we started working with the family back in January and December, and we knew he was going to be a part. He and his brother have joined us, and they're a great addition to our school, our basketball program, and our football program as well. So that's what we have today. And
All right, Coach, we'll start here in the back.
Coach Jack Patterson with WRBL in Columbus. So first year you make it to the state championship. This is a question for the coach and the players. What do you do for an encore in year 2?
well, everybody says you want to build culture, and that's the thing you're doing. So that's kind of what we started with last year. You know, when I took over the job, we were having 1 or 2 kids show up for summer workouts. Summer workouts wasn't even a thing. So we really invested in our program. We built our weight room up. We bought new weights. We did some painting. We redid our dressing area. So we put a lot of work into it to show the kids, you know, we're going to have pride in the things that we do and all that kind of good stuff. And this year, that culture's changed around. Like Coach right before said, you know, fell in love with the weight room. That's what we've done this year. Our kids show up every workout. They work their tails off. Yesterday, I think Dylan right here, he said, hey, Coach, I was talking about we start practice next week, and this is the way we're going to do it. He said, we're still going to work out, aren't we? I said, yeah, that's going to be part of our workout routine. So with that being said, we're going to improve on last year. Last year, we lost 4 games. We had some injuries. We had some depth problems that caused us to lose those games, and we want to win every single one of them. And our goal, I know everybody says that, but our goal is to win state championship this year, and the kids have really committed to that goal.
Coach Birch, obviously you lost a really good player to graduation, Caden Cook. How do you replace that production and that leadership?
Well, Caden was real valuable. He was one of those leaders that I talked about that rallied the kids around and got the kids up and was a huge on both sides of the ball. You know, we could play him at any position. He was a big kid that was an athlete. You know, we have Greg's going to fill some of those roles, and not one person's going to do it, but we have more players this year to be able to fill those positions. You know, we had John, we have several, a quarterback. You know, we had 11 seniors, and about 8 of them were players that played, so it'll be tough replacing those guys. But I think we filled those gaps, and I feel like this year we'll have some more depth.
Coach, you mentioned addition of some new players. I know 8-man football started now, but what's kind of the threshold and working towards playing 11-man football at some point?
I don't know. I mean, we want to do the things right. You know, at Springwood School, we are a very good educational school, high academics, high character type things. So we want to do everything right, and we'll see what happens. I know there's some uncertainty going on in the AISA and some things like that. You know, some schools are maybe getting out or in, and so I don't know really what we're going to do. We're going to worry about this year. We're going to continue to build the program up and get enough depth. But what we do want to do is be competitive wherever we are. You know, if that means staying in 8-man football, we want to be competitive, and we want to give our kids a good football experience. I mean, the game of football is great. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing up here. It teaches so many of those lessons, and not to have it would be a crying shame. So if we can get back to 11 football, you know, eventually that would be the goal, but wherever we are, we'll be successful.
Coach, how many kids do you have back from the state championship game last year?
Well, we dressed 21 and we lost 11 seniors, so that was 10 kids. in the spring, we did play a spring game this year, and I think we dressed about 28 kids. And that's, 7 through 12, so it's just a numbers game.
Right.
That's why we're doing that.
But Tim-
But let me say this right, man, football. We got Caden, of course, and we had some players last year that have gone on. Evangel Christian, which beat us in a rematch in the championship game. They had a couple of players that went on and played at the next level. So they're quality football players that play 8-man football all across the nation. And, I saw a school, I think it was Crossville up in North Alabama. They're not going to have a football season this year. They're debating that. And, that would be an option that Alabama might want to look at. I think there's 30 or so teams that play 8-man football across the state. If you're in that situation, are you going to play 8-man football or you're not going to have a season? And these kids that really want to play and love the game don't get that opportunity. So that's a crying shame.
Those 10 that are back, I mean, have you seen a hunger to get back to particularly that championship game?
Oh yeah, those leaders that are back, they know what it feels like, and the AISA did a great job with that venue, and it was a great experience for us playing in that game and being on that level, and we want to get back. I think my fault and the team, it was just too big for us, coming from being a 1-9 and not winning very many games to being that big thing, and it kind of got away from us, and we lost the state championship game. So we want to kind of get back, and we'll feel a whole lot more comfortable this year, and we want to complete the task.
Did you say Eli was there last year?
Yes.
Eli, could I ask you just, what was that like, and is that y'all's goal to get back to it, and maybe what would you maybe impart to some of the newcomers who didn't get to go on that run last year?
Yes, sir. I think it was a really good experience for us, and to have that experience and coming back this year, and that's our goal. So I think that experience is going to be really big for us, and the kids that are coming back can kind of relay that to the new kids on this team to kind of show them what it's like and show them that that's our goal this year.
Hey, Gregory and Dylan, why don't y'all touch on, coming over to Springwood and kind of how the transition's been for you two guys?
I've been there my whole life, so leaving was a little different. But coming back, I went to some games last year, I saw they were competing. And it was different to me watching, 8 people in the field versus 11. But it's still physical, no matter how you do it. So I think the goal this year is make it back to state championship, obviously, but to win. To get there, you got to finish it out. And I think last year it was a good thing to see them compete, going from 1-9 to making it to state championship. So making that just puts a hunger in all of us to get back and win.
Coming from a big school like Opelika, I feel like it's like a big change, knowing that 11 and 8-man is kind of different for me. So I just want, knowing coming as a newcomer, I want to be a big impact to the team.
And one thing that with these two new guys and CJ, Grigger's brother, and we have a couple of guys come over from Valley that helped us out that I don't even know if they played football at Valley, but they have really helped change the culture here as well because they bought in. And like I said, every practice they're there, these guys are early. They come in, they play basketball, they get the ball out after we do our workouts and do our training. And sometimes, 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm ready to go home because I'm old and I'm hungry and my wife's ready for me to get home. And sometimes I just have to say, guys, y'all keep that ball with you. I'm going to go home. And so I think the buy-in is there, and we're really excited about where we're going in Springwood.
Coach Birch, obviously you only had 10 players return from last year. How do you think that competitiveness and the way y'all performed last year helped to improve y'all's numbers going into this year?
Well, even though we only had 10 returning, a lot of the guys that came
Highway 14, Lochapoka High School, and Coach Newton is entering his 4th season at Lochapoka. He's had some really good athletes too come through Lochapoka, especially last year and coming into this year. The group went 9-2 last season. I know they're hungry for another successful season this year, so without further ado, we'll welcome up Coach Frederick Newton and Lochapoka.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for having us here. I'd like to introduce our athletic director, Coach Smith. He's our fall athletic director. He has a couple of words he want to say, then I'll come back and answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Newman. Good morning. I would like to thank our Lee County Central Office at this time, Dr. McCoy, Dr. Wright, Mr. Fuller, Dr. Washington, and I also would like to thank our principals, Principal Albert Weeding and our assistant principal, Alexis Berry. Thank you all to iHeart Radio, Fox Sports, and the Orthopedic Clinic for putting this on and all other media outlets here today. We have a plethora of new coaches here at Los Chapoca, and I want to touch light on them because they bring a wealth of knowledge. Coach Lisson, Coach Martin, Coach Bryant, Coach Agee, Coach Chenier, Coach McCoy, Coach Tyner, Coach Council, and Coach Hurst. Going into the new season at Los Chapoca High School, we're doing a lot of facility upgrades. The first thing we want to feature is our new track, which is going to be home to the 2023 Track and Field Board State Champions, which you have a couple of them here that's on the team loaded today. What we emphasize at Los Chapoca High School is a total athletic program in which last year 6 of our 8 teams finished or qualified for the state playoffs. On the new track field, we'll also have a flag football field and soccer. It's going to be a combo along with the new track field upgrades. And once again, before I introduce Coach Newton, we want to say it's only one way, and that's the Poca way. So everything you do and understand, hashtag Poca Pride, hashtag we coming, and last, and most importantly, it's only one way, the Poca way. Coach Newton, take the way, baby.
All right, I'm here to answer questions.
Coach Newton, major college recruiters are now coming to Los Chapoca with J.C. Hart and Mr. Payne. Give us some names of people, some of your players that we have not heard about that we probably will down the road.
All right, well, today we have also with us Quentin Cooks, have Nims. Quentin Cooks is also one of our recruits that's being highly recruited right now. We also have some great seniors in Ethan Payne and Rand Norman. Those are more guys we have. Quay Satterwhite is a senior also. So a great class of seniors. I don't know if I missed anyone. If I would, I'll catch your name later on. But we have a great group of seniors and a great group of class. And we have a great thing going on at Los Chapoca High School as far as being recruits and far as with recruits. We have a lot of colleges coming through and a lot of colleges coming through to recruit our kids. But one main reason that they're coming by to recruit our kids is also what our students are doing in the classroom also, which is majorly important. Our students are reaching great highs in the classroom, which goes with the recruiting. We preach an overall student athlete, and they're doing a great job of doing that at Los Chapoca High School.
This time last year, and you were talking about how you wanted last year's team to change the culture, and you go out and have one of the best seasons in recent memory at Los Chapoca. What do you do for an encore?
Well, I think you got to do as an encore is do what everybody wants you to do, and that's win. So I think it's going into this season right here is that we're going to try to continue.
Schools to go here, and we appreciate everybody that's been attending. A reminder, 11 more schools coming up tomorrow, another day full from 8 to noon right here on Fox Sports 9, 10, 10 a.m. The Game and on WOTM TV. Coming up right after our school on stage, Beulah High School, Beauregard, Hanley, and we'll wrap the morning up with Auburn High School. Ever since this coach stepped foot in Russell County High School, the buzz has been football again, and they have got another good group coming in this year and playing in a very tough region in 6A. And boy, they've done some facility upgrades. If you have not had a chance to get out there and catch the turf, the light show, the buzz in Russell County is alive and well with football. And we'll welcome to the stage the coach of the Russell County Warriors, and that is Dylan Griggs.
I'd like to start this by saying, probably one of the best off seasons I've ever been involved. Kind of like you went through last year, it really kind of makes you take a step back and reevaluate what it is that you're doing and how you can better put your kids in a position to be successful. And, and I'll say that from day one, our coaching staff, there was no, it was literally like we got done with the Greenville game and we hit the ground running that Monday. And kudos to the kids. I've never seen a group of kids just so committed to getting better, and I think that's a compliment to our seniors, because once again, the season didn't go the way we wanted it to last year, but that senior class, not one kid folded, not one kid quit. They stuck through it, and they gave something to this next senior class to hold on to, and that's belief. And so with Robert Calhoun, our quarterback, This offseason, he has really shown the growth and the fact that he's going to be a 4-year starter this year. And a lot of people don't realize, this kid in the middle of COVID as a 9th grader got thrown into, the season and has really kind of gone through 2 to 3 different offenses in that process. And, and his ability to retain that information and translate it to his teammates is just something, to be unbelievable. And he's progressed so much. We've even come up with a nickname. We call him Claude during practice. And Claude is at practice. It's going to be a really, really good day. And then, with the offensive line, we returned 4 out of 5 this year. They are a really good group. They really are syncing and gelling together. And then, we got Kelston Tarver, our upcoming sophomore. He's got 4 Division I offers. And then we got our left tackle, Parker Pritchett, who's also got 5 Division I offers going into it. Across the board, we don't have but 2 seniors on the offense this year. But in saying that, and I don't try to put my foot in my mouth too much, but one of the most talented young receiving corps I've ever seen, Josh Battle, Denver Harper, Megatron, Javar, and then PJ, all of them, they've really shown a lot. We went into this summer and we did 2 7-on-7s. And the one thing I was really impressed with our group of receivers is every game, number 1 overall seed, you had teams like Thompson and Alena in that. And then we went to Georgia and you had schools like
6 years to see some new ones, but we're glad to have you here. As we continue to roll along, we started this morning at 8 o'clock with Executive Director Alvin Briggs. We would like to remind you we're at the Bottling Plant Event Center in Opelika, and our good friends at Orthopedic Clinic. A lot of their day to come, some driving the coaches being here as we continue to grow. The Beulah Bobcats is my next school. Head coach Matthew Johnson. I was just looking, it's hard to believe, coach, it's about to be year number 5. Unbelievable. He's getting older, I'm getting younger, but the Beulah Bobcats, I've got number 3, LJ Fitzpatrick. Where's LJ at? All right, LJ. I've got number 6, Ethan Prestridge, Ethan, and number 7, Bronson Dubose. And ladies and gentlemen, I bring Coach Matthew Johnson.
Thank you, DeMar. I just want to thank everybody for being here. It's a pleasure really to be here to get some spotlight on our kids, our school, our community. It's once a year that we can get everybody together, and it's really a good thing to have that spotlight on us and in every school. I want to thank iHeart, Van, DeMar.
And a little bit after that, we'll have Roddy Beck from the AISA. And to run down tomorrow's schedule, we'll have Chambers Academy at 8:15, Southern Prep at 8:35, Lee Scott Academy at 8:55, the Notasulga Blue Devils at 9:15, the Lynette Panthers at 9:35, and our new coach Chip Siegel. 9:55, the Glenwood Gators, Smitty Grider, and the Benton Russell Wildcats at 10:15. Coach Raj McDonald and Dave Garrison at 11:15, and at 11:35, Eric Speakman and the Opelika Bulldogs. That'll be 20. The Bottling Plant of East Alabama. Here in Opelika in downtown. All right.